Alright, so while I've been here, I've been trying to do a little shopping list. The AC keeps freezing over here. It didn't do this in Iowa. I don't understand why. As I mentioned before, the humidity's low. It is really hot, so the fact that we were running it at higher level, and so what we found is we have to run it like at 50% or less on the level, because I think before it could keep up. And so what's happening is if you turn it up all the way, it never cycles off. And because there is no freeze over sensor, it freezes over. And it never cycles off because it's so hot here in Delta. It's like 105 degrees. I don't get it because it wasn't freezing over in Iowa. It did freeze over for us in the Badlands, in that area last year. And it's freezing over here. So I made an order, and I ordered it second day air. And then I changed the billing address. I put the billing address as my parents' house here in Colorado, and the shipping address is my home in Iowa. So then what I ordered was a new controller, which has an actual thermostat on it with a digital display. It's controllable by Bluetooth on your phone. It has 2 extra directional vents, and it also has a freeze sensor. Because I looked again at this thing that's in our camper, there is no way to plug in a freeze sensor. So that's why there wasn't one. Anyway, they had one left in stock, but because I screwed up the order, they had to cancel the order. They were able to cancel the order for it, but not for the heater. I ordered a heater, and the reason I did that is, if you watch my older videos, we found out that all the sockets in this camper go through the inverter, which can only handle about 10 to 12 amps. So a heater will always throw the breaker on the inverter, even if you're not running off solar. So I ordered the heater element that will go into the AC unit. It's 1700 watts, but when you're plugged into a 30 amp circuit, that means you'd be able to run that electric heater through the air conditioning unit. So I ordered that also. It was all in the same order. Well, that was drop shipped from another company. That ended up going to Iowa. I couldn't cancel it. This one, the controller, I was able to cancel, and then when they reordered it, it was already out of stock. So I'm gonna have to limp along here for the next week or so in Colorado, with it being a little hotter than I'd like in the camper. And it's gonna be 4 to 6 weeks before they'll be able to send that controller. I'll show you what it looks like. I'm excited about it because we can be laying in bed and control the air conditioning unit. Plus it has the freeze sensor. Again, as I mentioned, we've already checked everything. There's no reason for this to be freezing over, except there's something different about the climate here and how we're using it here that causes it to freeze over, and there is no freeze sensor to stop it from freezing over. Here is what I actually ordered. So this is what I ordered, and then I'm not getting it now for 4 to 6 weeks because I screwed up on the address. Another thing I wanted to get, because the comet that's going by, we got a couple more days to see it. We've been really busy. But I started looking at telescopes, and I realized that's going to be really hard to set up and deal with and all that. And then I saw people using binoculars and actually doing astrophotography with binoculars and cell phones with cell phone adapters. So I did some research, and I wear glasses, and I decided they were like 135 bucks at Walmart here. I ordered me some binoculars. They're 10 by 50. I wanted something more like 7 by 50 to give a wider field of view, but it's a 5mm exit pupil, but the biggest thing is the eye relief is about 17, and I wear glasses. So I figure 135 bucks. I'm going to try them. Got them from Walmart. I got to go pick them up, but if I don't like them, I can just take them back. I think being as I'm getting into astronomy and stuff like that, if it's something I always wanted to do, I think I'll start baby steps. Something like this, something that doesn't require a tripod, something that's small, and just see how I like it. Also be something easy to carry with a camper, and I do have my camera tripod, and again I could hook my cell phone to it. I've seen a guy taking pictures of Jupiter and stuff like that just with his cell phone and 7 by 50 binoculars. So these should be okay. Again, 7 by 50 would get you more light than the 10 by 50, but that's all they had that I could pick up today. So, and the comet's going to be gone really soon. I don't know if I can even see that now at this point. It is already the 28th. It may already be out of the sky. We're going to go to Grand Mesa tomorrow and go to Island Lake. And I think that's what it is, Island Lake. And we might be up there really late, and then I can try the binoculars there and see how that goes. I won't be able to get any photography because I don't have the camera mount, but at least I'll have the binoculars and kind of see what we can do. So that's an update with all that's going on with that. All right, so I picked these up at Walmart. These are the Bushnell, however you say it, Bushnell, I guess. They are 10 by 50s. They're called the Trophy by 50s. First impressions. Now keep in mind, I've never really paid attention to binoculars before. Of course, my parents had some. Robin's grandfather had some. But I think the ones my parents had a long time ago were probably more like 7 by 50s. It just feels like about that kind of magnification. And Grandpa's were huge. Weight. They don't seem too bad initially. I've been playing with them for probably about 30 minutes right now. I haven't felt too terribly tired, so that's good. I've gotten these for hopefully to use to look at the comet that is going by, if it's still going by. I think I would have preferred getting 7 by 10s of this. This is all that we had available locally that was in stock that I could get quick. I just went and picked it up at Walmart, literally just 30 minutes after ordering it. They are waterproof, which is good. So weight isn't bad, waterproof, which is good. They seem to be very well designed. As far as the optics, I'm too ignorant to know if they're good or bad or whatever, but they seem to be really clear. The one thing I will say that it's got, I think, a 17 millimeter relief. Now, I have contacts as well as glasses because I have keratoconus. So I'm wearing special contacts, and then I also have to wear glasses. So I can use these either way, actually. Because of the 17 millimeter relief, I'm actually able to use these with glasses without an issue whatsoever. So that is good. So if you have to wear glasses, it works. I also have the scleral lenses, and I'm able, of course, to use these without glasses, but just have my scleral lenses in. It does seem easy to focus. It does seem a very good build quality. That's the pluses. I haven't used it for astronomical viewing yet because it's not nighttime, obviously. During the day, these things rock. I think they're really cool. These would be great to carry in the camper. They're small, they're easy. If you're going up to the Grand Canyon, stuff like that, I don't think I would want any more than 10 power because they are shaky. That's a drawback. A 7 power would be less shaky. So I don't think I'd ever go more than 10 power. I don't think I would go more than 50 millimeter because while I said they are light, I think any more than this would be too much. The exit pupil is 5 millimeters because it's 10 by 50. And I've gotten pretty good at not seeing the black. However, if you had an exit pupil of around 7 millimeters, like if you had a 7 by 50, I think that would be a little easier to adjust to. And I think at the nighttime, regardless if my eyes, because I'm older, would be able to benefit from that, I think it would be maybe a little more easy. So we'll see how they do tonight. For daytime, they seem great, but I do think a 7 millimeter exit pupil would be a little easier and less apt to see the black circles around your field of view. If we're going to probably just look around here tonight, which we may not be able to see anything, but tomorrow we are going to go up to Grand Mesa, so we'll see how that does. All right, so we got our binoculars. I don't even know with my vision, I can't tell if it's cloudy tonight or not, but we are driving out. We're in western Colorado in Delta, and we're driving out on F Road, and this is going to take us out to Peach Valley, which we jokingly always said was Peachless Valley because it's basically nothing out here. Now, over the years, a lot of little suburb kind of things have sprung up, but as we go out on this road, we'll just keep going until it's dirt, and that should be out into the Adobe Hills, and hopefully we'll be far enough out to no man's land here that if the skies are able to be seen, anything that's starry, we'll see it. This is our first attempt at using binoculars, so we'll see how it goes. If we fail, we'll at least have some idea what to research and figure out why we failed, and tomorrow when we go up to Grand Mesa, maybe we'll have better luck. So, all right, we'll see you when we get to the site. You got the Skyview, and Britain, meanwhile, has installed the Skyview app, or is getting installed the Skyview app, and we're going to see how this all goes. All right. Okay, well, we got a little bit of unwanted light from the moon, but we can see stuff out here, which I know you're not going to see on the camera. Some clouds up there. Actually, you can see a lot of stars. I'm sorry, guys. I know you're not going to see any of this on the camera. All you're going to get is commentary, but this could be really amazing to see. Okay, Britton has the app up and it says, okay, so that right there straight ahead, so that bright one right there, that is Jupiter, and that is probably Saturn.
I don't know.
Wouldn't you say?
Sure.
Those two spots? All right, let's try that. All right, guys, I finally got some footage here. Maybe you can see my face. I don't do a lot of night stuff, so it's definitely a great night for looking at the stars out here. We can see a lot, but my first observation with using this 10 by 50 binoculars, it's really shaky. You're going to need a tripod mount for sure. So if you're even considering doing anything handheld, don't go 10 by 50s. I like the magnification because things are still pretty small. Now, if I hook a cell phone up to it and then I can zoom in, I already know I should see pretty good. I'm getting a lot of good light. I can see the stars really well in these 10 by 50s, but it's very, very shaky. So if you're going to even attempt handheld at all, I've never used binoculars before for this, so maybe even 7 by 50s are still really shaky too. I don't know. But 10 by 50 is definitely, you're going to want to use a tripod. So this is what I've come to the conclusion. Things like finding, now at power of 10, they were still pretty tiny. Probably be a lot easier to see once I get this on a tripod. Jupiter, Saturn, things like that are easy to find. Not a big deal. However, bigger things like trying to just find, even though you could look in the sky and see the Big Dipper, trying to figure out where it was with the field of view on these 10 by 50s was a bit difficult. The Skyview app was really cool, but also not completely accurate. I do see how having a field of view that's a little bit wider like the 7 by 50s would be better. Constellations where the stars were quite a bit apart were definitely much harder for me to figure out where they were in the binoculars. Now keep in mind, I'm just starting to do this. So you as somebody being new, if you haven't learned where all the stars are and stuff, probably 7 by 50s would be better. As far as light, however, I thought they did really well. There was a lot of stars I could not see with the naked eye. I mean, it was really dim. Wouldn't you say that? It was like when you looked in the sky, you couldn't even tell they were there. But when you looked through the binoculars, you could clearly see tons and tons of stars. So as far as lighting, I don't think that was the issue. Also, the 10 by 50s, even Jupiter still looked itty bitty tiny. I'm on the fence, but what this has done is made me now want to buy an actual telescope. The last time I had a telescope, I had really bad vision. And I'm not going to get into the history of my vision. I've had all kinds of eye surgeries. I'm wearing special contacts, glasses, just to see. Now I can see. So looking through the binoculars and being able to look up and see so many stars, that is really cool for me. I like these. I'll try them with the camera adapter so I can experiment with that and the tripod adapter, which I would still use, but I may return these and get the exact same brand because I'm really happy with these. They seem really good, but get 7 by 50s. We'll see how that transpires over the next week. Oh, did we figure out if the comet was even visible?
Oh, I don't know.
All right, we're going to look and see if the comet's even still visible. It's the 28th. I think it's out of sight. I think we missed it. But that is the update so far. If you're trying to figure out how to get started, I will say this is really encouraging to see so much and to spend so little to do it. Like I say, I spent $135. And the cool part about these is they're really cool even for daytime, terrestrial viewing. So that's where I'm at with this. I hope this review has helped you try to figure out what to do if you're trying to buy binoculars for looking at space. All right, you guys have a great evening and see ya tomorrow, maybe, when we're up on Grand Mesa. All right, good night.